To this week's episode of MTN Outdoors. I'm Andy Curtis. Fly fishing is one of those iconic Montana activities that brings in people from all over the world right here to the Treasure States. But mastering that skill set is a lot harder than it looks. So in this week's episode, we'll see how some newcomers to the sport are mastering that art form. But first, before we head to that class, the iconic Montana fishing company Simms has been sold. So we'll start things off this week by heading to Bozeman, where MTN's Edgar Cedillo caught up with the fishing community to ask what that purchase means to them.
With news of the potential acquisition of Simms fishing products by Vista Outdoors, local fishing stores like this one react to the news.
Simms has long been a very successful company in the fishing world, and successful companies are always sought after.
Business owner of Montana angler Brian McGeehan in Bozeman says hearing the news of the acquisition didn't come as a surprise for the local company.
You know, we're hopeful that, a strong company, Montana-based company like Simms, is able to still be successful. That brand, is something that people in Montana have long been proud of.
CEO of Vista Outdoors says as a user of Simms, the acquisition made sense.
And I've just always been a fan, an admirer, and a user of their product. And I always said, hey, someday I'd love to have a closer relationship with them.
Met says their presence in Bozeman will grow as Vista Outdoors looks to headquarter their outdoor product business in Bozeman.
So Bozeman has got a place that's near and dear to my heart and the company's heart. And so we think the ability to continue to grow our footprint here.
For users like McGeehan, he's hopeful that the brand will continue to build on the foundation that they have established.
We expect the products and services that Simms has provided to be maintained.
Met says once the deal closes, they can expect to see the same Simms and more of it.
So our customers are going to see a bigger presence. Simms is going to see a bigger presence at retail.
In downtown Bozeman, Edgar Cedillo, MTN News.
Here at Travelers Rest, a couple dozen people gather to learn the fundamentals of one of Montana's favorite pastimes.
Cast it, lay it over.
The free workshop at Lolo Creek, in partnership with the Lolo Watershed Group and Trout Unlimited, allows people like Gabe Weam to hone in his fly fishing skills.
Learn new casting skills if I could, and how to identify flies and stuff when they're flying around in the air.
With 4 major rivers and 86 fishable tributaries in the area, teaching these youngsters about casting, bugs, and conservation is a big part of the workshop.
Teach them about fishing. We want to teach them about how to be safe fishing. We want to teach them how the environment works within the streams and what it means for our bigger rivers.
Brandon Dyer is a banker by trade, but a fisher by heart.
What's great about teaching kids is that for the most part, it's the first time they've done it and they're very curious.
It really is like an art. You pretty much have to put the fly in the exact spot.
Imitating a bug. So what I have on my end of my line here is a fly.
Because if you put it inches to one side, they won't go for it.
This one is called a chubby Chernobyl. Can everybody see it's got a big white wing on there?
And it wouldn't be a day on the river without catching a fish.
There he was! Oh, he came up!
In Lolo, Hannah Hislop, MTN News.
Well, if you've spent any time here in the mountains in Montana, chances are you've been a lot closer to a mountain lion than you think. You probably just didn't see them. That's because the feisty felines are usually pretty secretive. But recently, one let itself into a Great Falls home. MTN's Asher Line has the details.
July ended with some excitement and alarm as a mountain lion was removed from a home in Great Falls on the morning of July 31st. Fish, Wildlife, and Parks said the female cat was about 3 years old and skinny, weighing in at about 70 pounds. They said they guessed it was searching for food and was eventually spotted underneath a house deck.
That's not the outcome anybody hopes for a lion, certainly. But when it's a predator and when it's in town, they don't relocate those lions, especially in a case like this when it's demonstrated the behavior of coming into town and staying long enough, to get into a situation like this.
Searching for a way to escape, it broke through a window into the basement, where it was then tranquilized and eventually euthanized. FWP says policy does not allow for relocation, mainly because of human safety, as well as the fact that mountain lions don't do good with relocation.
They don't respond well to being relocated. They're very highly territorial. So to take a lion and move it somewhere else, I'm going to put it right into the territory of another lion, and it's most likely not going to survive anyway.
If you spot a mountain lion or other animal out of place, FWP suggests keeping a safe distance and contacting law enforcement. In Great Falls, Asher Lind, MTN News.
First Peoples Buffalo Jump State Park is not your average park.
First Peoples Buffalo Jump State Park is what we believe to be the largest buffalo jump in North America.
While the jump is the main attraction,
Native tribes used the cliffs to get the bison they needed for survival, probably for thousands of years.
the jump is far from the only attraction.
We do have a lot of interpretive signs that explain, how jumps took place, and we also have interpretive displays that talk about each of the native tribes that we can find in Montana today.
Kay Lakey decided to spend some time at the park while visiting family.
My sister lives near here, and we came out last year when the park was closed, and we came back because we wanted to see it again.
She says the history is what drew her to the park.
I've always been curious about the First Peoples because we didn't get that much information when we were in school as kids.
It just fascinates me on how they put all that together without the modern technology on how to research how to use a buffalo jump, or how to build drive lanes, how to process the animals.
The park also hosts various events, including a kite festival, which had record attendance this year.
I definitely think we owe a lot to you guys for helping us out to promote that.
The next big event is the Mammoth Hunt, August 13th and 14th. Visitors will have the opportunity to try out primitive hunting weapons. In Great Falls, Colter Anstad, MTN News.
When we come back here on MTN Outdoors, we'll see why goats could be the GOAT of the ag industry.
MTN Outdoors continues after this. We now return to MTN Outdoors.
We are smack dab in the middle of fair season across Montana. So this week at MTN Outdoors, we're going to follow suit. And in this next story, MTN's Colter Anstad will show us why raising goats might just be the greatest of all time ag industry.
What you see taking place here behind me is one of the first two workshops, part of a new collaboration here in Montana, all about meat goat production. A timely effort as the demand for goat meat increases across the country. More than 24 people showed up at the workshop at the Mountain View Co-op store in Great Falls, asking questions and listening to experts speak.
We're just kind of trying to get ahead of the curve.
Brent Rader is the MSU Extension State Sheep and Wool Specialist and was the first to speak.
Really what we're just trying to do is get some educational programming out for goat producers, commercial goat producers around the state. We know those numbers have been building, the markets have been good for goats the last couple of years, and so really just trying to build some foundation meetings for those producers that are out there.
Demand for goat meat is increasing as consumers become more health conscious and ethnic communities expand.
And there's some really interesting marketing possibilities.
Joe Farkell lives near Conrad and came to the workshop because his daughters are in 4-H and getting into meat goat production. He has been interested in production for a few years.
We have some basic questions on the production, make sure we're heading in the right direction and setting up our pens correctly and being aware of the predator control.
Also speaking at the workshop were Dr. Reed Redden, the sheep and goat specialist for Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, and Texas rancher Carl Whitworth.
I do a lot of different things with Brent Rader, and so he invited us to come up. We're going to talk about just kind of general goat management, how goats are ran in Texas, what's the pros and cons of the goat industry.
As a sixth-generation goat producer, Whitworth offered this advice to anyone looking to get into the business.
Do your homework, find somebody that's been doing it and, pick their brain.
If you weren't able to make one of the first two workshops, not to worry, there will be other workshops as well as webinars, on-farm training, and even mentoring over the next 2 years. In Great Falls, Colter Anstad, MTN News.
An 18-year-old fourth-generation farmer is venturing into the fashion world, and the goal of her new t-shirt is to support American-made products and the American cotton industry. Kate Stevens has been running combines with her dad since she was 15. You may have already heard of her. She's the CEO and founder of Kate's Ag, a clothing line bridging the gap between farmers and consumers.
I would like to see people become more aware about where their clothing comes from and who you're supporting when you're purchasing those clothes.
This fourth-generation farmer is launching a brand new t-shirt that sports the Kate's Ag logo.
Well, it has a QR code in it, so you can track the whole process the shirt went through, which I think is very unique, and you're able to see all of the producers you're supporting.
A unique feature, the QR code takes you to a web page that offers insight on the 8 different steps it took to produce this t-shirt, from the cotton farmer himself, the cotton gin, and the spinners of the fabric.
All of the families you're supporting during the process of making the shirt. It's an amazing process and something that each one of these families is very proud of.
Clothing aside, Kate is a trailblazer when it comes to women in the farming industry. She has a successful platform on YouTube that showcases her life as a central Montana farmer, inspiring a new wave of women in the industry.
It feels very empowering. I have lots of young women and girls who watch my videos and have grown up in an area where they've never seen a woman driving a combine or being a part of the agricultural industry in any way. So they now see my videos and think, wow, I can do that too. So it means a lot to me. And I'm the first woman on our farm to ever operate a big machine like this. So I'm very happy to be able to share that with many people.
This entrepreneur is onward and upward, attending Cornell University in the fall with aspirations to one day work in ag media and run the Stevens family farm. In the wheat fields, Ryan Gamboa, MTN News.
It's garden season, and if you've noticed that your backyard garden isn't doing as well as it has in years past, we're here to let you know you're not alone, and don't give up hope on those beautiful veggies just yet.
I think that weather this spring probably kind of affected everybody.
David Kimball, the chair of St. Andrew Community Garden in Billings, says every year in gardening is different, but this year's late frost may have set back many gardeners.
We're going to have late cucumbers. The lettuce and the beets, we're not sure what's going on. Those have not thrived real well.
To compare, in June 2021, June's total precipitation was not even half an inch. June of 2022 had well over 2 inches. Mix that with sudden heat, and your plants may not have managed well.
We had all of this wet spring in May and June, and so that contributed to a lot of growing, a lot of health for plants. They got to July, and then everything kind of changed with a lot of heat, and so then things started showing signs of stress.
The owner of Roots Garden Center, John Switzer, does have some advice for gardeners. He says now is the time of year to use a fast-release fertilizer. Some more advice from Switzer: don't get discouraged if your plants were damaged in a hailstorm.
Plants can heal, and a lot of times just pinching them back to the last set of leaves so that they can still transport energy is really powerful for the plants to be able to survive and still do well.
As for Kimball, he's also holding out hope to still get a good harvest for the year.
Probably a week behind, maybe 2 weeks behind where normally we'd be this time of year. So we have our fingers crossed for an extended fall without a frost so that we have an extended harvest at the end.
In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
Stick around because coming up next, fire season is here, and all that moisture from the spring is now a thing of the past. We'll give you the smoky details after this.
MTN Outdoors continues after this. We now return to MTN Outdoors.
There's no escaping it now. After all that moisture we got in the spring and early summer, fire season is finally here in Montana. And for the first time in nearly 30 years, this veteran volunteer fire chief won't be on the front lines this summer. MTN's Sam Hoyle will help us celebrate the career and retirement of Wally Jester. But first, MTN's Dennis Bragg will show us how we got to this year's fire season and tell us how all that historic rain we had earlier is now a thing of the past.
I'm Dennis Bragg in Missoula. The wet spring and early summer probably lulled us into a sense of security that we wouldn't have much of a fire season this year. But I checked into the numbers, and fire experts are telling me it's actually as dry as it was in the big fire year of 2017.
In 2017, we really didn't get the moisture, and it kept going up. Now the moisture's gone, and it's going up, and we're starting to trend towards 2017 again.
That's not the news I expected to be telling you a few months back when rain and even snow showers were making weather headlines. The graphs tell the tale. The blue line represents the current readings while the orange reflects 2017. You can see how July's heat baked the woods and the intersection of hazard compared with the year when all of western Montana seemed on fire.
That wet summer probably gave us a week, 2 weeks, maybe even up to 3 weeks that where we would normally have fires, where we didn't have fires. But now a lot of that vegetation and grass is changing. It's brown and it's burning.
A glance might give the impression of green, but the soaring temperatures are changing the reality rapidly.
Yeah, extremely rapid. With temperatures near 100 degrees, the fuels dry out, winds blow, they dry out really, really quickly. And it might look green, but you look underneath and the grass is dry, especially on the tall grass and the fine grasses.
And we've seen evidence of that from the outbreaks of fires over the weekend to the moose fire on the salmon, where it's already bone dry, a blaze that's topped 56,000 acres in just 2 weeks.
Fire managers use test equipment to measure the ERC, or the energy release component of fuels. You can do a similar test. It's very simple and effective. Just take a stalk of grass and see if it bends or does it break.
And since almost every fire we've seen so far has been caused by people, we can make a difference with caution.
Know what causes fire, whether it's machinery, abandoned campfires, fireworks, and we're to the point in the season where all those could start a fire. So be smart out there and really, really help us reduce the number of human-caused starts. We really can't change how many lightning strikes we get and lightning fires we get, but the human-caused fires, we can really reduce those.
In Missoula, Dennis Bragg, MTN News.
It takes a little over an hour and a half to reach this view at Stark Mountain. Officially staffed in 1964, the lookout serves as one of 5 active fire lookouts for the Lolo National Forest. And up at the lookout, you will find Tom Wegner.
To confirm whether or not it's actually smoke.
Wegner has been stationed at Stark Mountain for 10 years.
To see if I can get any indications as to if there's a fire there, what kind of behavior and terrain it's in.
This former Wisconsin teacher turned fire lookout comes to Montana during fire season, working as much as 13 days on and 1 off.
It's not as much a job as it is a way of life. The first thing I check for is smoke, and the last thing I check for is smoke, and in between is a lot of checking for smoke.
A 360-degree view from the deck makes it easy for Wegner to be the eyes and ears for crews on the ground if a fire does start.
It has a ring around the outside that spins with sights on it. Okay. Look through the slot and line it up, and then you can read your etched around the outside. There's a lot of punctuated equilibrium type things where 1 minute you might not be doing much, and the next minute all heck is breaking loose and you've got a lot going on, a lot on your plate.
Firefighters on the Lolo National Forest have responded to 26 wildfires, 9 lightning-caused fires, and 17 human-caused, making Wegner's job an important one. Between checking for smoke, communicating on the radio, and mapping out possible fires, Wegner doesn't get too much downtime. But when he does, he gets to enjoy the beauty of the mountains that surround him, finding solitude.
In each minute is a piece of magic, and in each moment are 1,000 gold pieces. And that's very much like what this is here.
In Huson, Hannah Hislop, MTN News.
After nearly 30 years of service with Lewis and Clark County Volunteer Fire, Wally Jester has officially retired. Jester, the former chief of the Lewis and Clark Volunteer Fire Department, started with the department in 1995. And according to Sheriff Leo Dutton, who was just starting out as a full-time deputy around that time, Wally's contributions across his near 30 years are not to be understated.
He started when the Lewis and Clark County Fire Department was run by the sheriff. And he had junk equipment. He had not much to work with. He got some volunteers. He is a master craftsman when it comes to building things.
It was an old helicopter fueler. We got it through DNRC, the military repurposing program.
He built fire trucks, and he would get the body, and then he would get a cab and chassis and put them together and get them tested. And he brought that fire department from the ashes.
In late 2021, Lewis and Clark and West Valley Fire voted to band together under West Valley's name. But the Lewis and Clark Volunteer Fire Department will always have a place in Jester's heart, especially the Whitlatch Station near Unionville, the town where Jester grew up and now lives once again.
But I spent all my time on county, so before they changed the logos on the doors to the West Valley logo, I asked that Dave come out and take pictures of my gear against the mild logo. My son designed that logo.
It wasn't until about 7 years ago that the areas of Orofino and Grizzly Gulches had their very own fire station, and Jester's time lobbying for and building the Whitlatch Station were not only a labor of love for the community that raised him, but also a chance to spare someone from something he had to witness as a young man.
Dave and I, we drove up to pull up in front of my house and was surrounded by red and blue lights, and half the house that burnt down to the windows was the new addition, which was the part I lived in. So I have known personally what it's like to go, this is all I have left, because that's what I did. There was just nothing there. So always someday then I wanted to, had hoped to anyway, get a fire department up here to make it work. And it's taken a lot of work, but I got it. It's done. And I've had some help from the neighbors and others that have really dug in to make it work.
While Jester's love for his community does not go unnoticed, their love for him was ever apparent when his neighbors threw him a retirement parade to thank him for his years of undying service as a firefighter, paramedic, a fire chief, and a force to be reckoned with.
I told them, just let it go away. Not worried about it, and they insisted. That's why this is here, is they wanted me to know how much it meant to them.
Well, that should just about do it for us here this week at MTN Outdoors. Thank you for making some time for us. And remember, if you have any outdoor stories whatsoever, shoot me an email at andy.curtis@ktvh.com. And until next week, stay safe, and I'll see you out there.